Hello students, I am Dr. P.C. Cambodia, Associate Professor in the Department of English, BSR Government Arts College, Alwar, Rajasthan. This video is for the students of BA Part 2nd English Literature Paper 2nd. In this video, we discuss the story Under the Banyan Tree written by R.K. Narayan. R.K. Narayan was born in 1906 and he was no more in 2001. He was taught at Maharaja's College, Mysore. Most of his fictional work deals with a place which is imaginative and it is known by the name Malgudi. Here in this story, Under the Banyan Tree, there is a description of a forest known by the name Mempi. In the lap of this forest, there is a village, Somal. In that village, there is a water tank. That water tank provides water for the need of the persons living over there. Then there is a stretch of water in form of a pool where the cows and buffaloes and other animals roam about and they drink water. This spreaded water brings a lot of diseases for the people who live in the village. There are several huts and people roam about here and there. Most of them are the farmers by occupation. There is a small temple, that is the temple of the goddess Shakti. In this temple, there is a caretaker. The name of that caretaker is Nambi. Nothing is known about the exact age of Nambi. He could be a man of 60, 70, 80 or 90. If anyone asked about the age of this man Nambi, then Nambi himself used to refer to some epidemic or the construction of a long bridge or any other event, and he tried to correlate that event with his growth. He used to say how tall he was at the time of epidemic and how tall he was at the time when such and such bridge was constructed, so people could have an idea about his age. He had only one belonging, that was the broom, with the help of which he used to clean that small temple of goddess Shakti. And any house in the village could be his house because he had no other belongings. He had his loin cloth called as dhoti and another piece of cloth to cover his upper body. Whenever he wanted these two clothes, he asked the villagers and they used to bring the clothes for Nambi. and whenever he felt hungry, he could go to any house in order to have lunch or dinner with them, and he was friendly with the most of the houses where people lived. He used to tell great stories, and whenever he wanted to tell a story to the villagers, he used to lit oil lamp in the niche of that banyan tree which was just outside that little temple. On an average, he could cover 6-7 stories a month, and one story took at least 3-4 times in order to complete. So he started his stories, and whenever the stories were to begin, people saw the earthen lamp glowing in the niche, and they had their dinner and rushed to the place outside the temple of Shakti goddess. He started his stories by telling them that there was a time when there was a great king, and he used to address that great king by Vikramaditya king, or by the Ashoka, or by any other great king. And then he used to develop his plot and add interesting events. People were fan of listening to his stories. He was such an interesting person that everyone had lent their ears to this great storyteller Nambi. And when the story ended, the persons, they disappeared, they went to their houses, and Nambi also entered his temple, and that was the end of the day, by having a great source of entertainment. Several years had passed, and Nambi kept on telling the stories to the villagers. Villagers came, and then they discussed. Nambi spent most of his time under the shade of that banyan tree, even in the afternoons or during the evening. The only activity other than telling the story was to clean, sweep, dust the temple. And he used to take great care of sanctum. Sanctum is the place which is the most sacred, where only the priest and other officials can make an entry. Then there was the time when Nambi grew older and older. This art of telling stories had limitations because of his own age. He wanted to tell stories, but he had hindrances. And then he told persons that he is unable to get proper ideas. He thought that it may be that the goddess Shakti was not kind to him, in order to lend him more and more of imagination, more and more of words, and likewise more and more of fancy. If we want to know about his educational background, then Nambi was not much educated man. He never knew how words were written, but he had a great source of inspiration, and according to him, it was the goddess Shakti that was giving him inspiration to tell more and more stories. A day came when Nambi tried his level best, but he could utter only a few words. The villagers were also there, and then they were not able to get proper stories. They disappeared, and the only person that was left with Nambi was the blacksmith of the village. Nambi accepted that now the time has gone for him to tell stories, and he stopped telling stories. He lived for couple of more years. After that, the villagers, they provided him his bread and butter. And one day a silence fell on Nambi, and thereafter Nambi was no more. This way, this story is interesting stories. We shall be taking in the next video class the next story which has been prescribed in the syllabus of the regular students affiliated to the college. Thank you so much. Have a nice day.